Slake morning. I got something to tell you. You can believe in that relationship all you want to. You can imagine they're the perfect one to the ends of the earth. But if you're feeling like something ain't quite right, there is a reason you're feeling that. Sometimes it's just some squirk that your partner is going to have to work through eventually. You know what that's like. Yep. And it's good to be there for them for that. Because not everybody can be. Not everybody's got the strength to be there with and for somebody while they're working through some deep, twisted part of their past. It takes a certain kind of outpouring of love to be able to be there for somebody working through something like that. But see, sometimes you got that feeling because something's not quite on target, because it's something that neither one of you can't work through. Sometimes a person's got a twisted piece of their past that they don't have the strength to work through, and it can ruin what you got. Sometimes it just ain't meant to work. And you can you can wish it would too. But wishing don't always make it work. If you got the strength to work through stuff and to be there for somebody, but they don't have the strength to do the same, then there is an area of which you're pulling all the weight. And you know what? It is akin to, y'all know those relationship coaches that are like, well, I'm a guy, and because me guy, I do all the work, and then when I get home, I just fart and eat sandwiches. Okay. And then the lady got to do all the house stuff. It don't quite work like that. I'm sure it works out for some, but let me tell you something. If the lady is like that, where it works out perfectly fine like that, there is some twisted part of her past, and she don't want to look at it, because ain't not a damn one of you deserve to have to do all the goddamn housework. That ain't right. It's called a relationship. For that matter, if the guy thinks all there is to do is to go to work and bring home the dollars and let the other person do all the housework, there's some twisted part of his past too that he don't got the strength to look at. If neither one of you got the strength to work any of that out, to see that there is something better that you could have, there are other parts of your life that are going to suffer for it. As one of my best friends says, the shadow is where the cookies are at. But not everybody's shadow is as dark as yours or as light. The darker your past is, the more beautiful treasure you got waiting on you. The more powerful your demons are, the more incredible your power could be when you do find the strength to go through your shadow. Do you know how many Christian folk ignore those cookies? They say, it ain't got nothing to do with me. This darkness in me that I feel, it is just because I see it in you. And you're going to burn in hell for that. But it doesn't have anything to do with anybody else. Because just like beauty, evil is in the eye of the beholder. And I hearken to you. Don't you dare get into the habit of accusing your partner of things. That is the best way to forfeit any beauty you could enjoy. Yeah, well, you're probably doing this. That is the sign of an unhappy person. And if that person ain't got the strength to go into their shadow and scrub it clean, you're waiting for disaster. Just waiting for it. Be here any time now. Really would have thought I'd been here a couple of years ago. Maybe it won't actually happen. No. It's still sitting there waiting for you. Some folks do not have the strength to delve into their shadow and scrub it clean. And their shadow takes them down. You know, kind of like what's going to happen with the one they call our president. Let me tell you something though. Do you know how you spell president? P-A-W-N. It's called figurehead for a reason. And tucked away, hidden in the shadows behind that figurehead are the ones that are actually pulling the strings. When I see the look on that one's face, the one they call the President of the United States, which she is not. You know what I see in the look in his face? Somebody that's tired and knows he's going to get what's coming to him, because it's been coming a long time. How many people do you think he has wronged? Don't do what he did. Don't do it. The other one with him, he feels his shadow bearing down on him too. But he's still hoping and believing. The more people you are wrong to, that shadow builds. And not everybody has the strength to go into their shadow and scrub it clean. He's hoping and believing with all his might. But I see the look in his eyes. I know that look well, because it was the same look I had for many years. Almost 2 decades. the 2 relationships I was in the past 2 decades, I was doing what he's doing, smiling above the pain. All the while, I had a feeling something was amiss, but I was already caught in the hubbub, just like a lot of folks get caught at a job they really don't like, and they strive at that job just to keep that job, just so that they can keep their modicum of that little modicum of comfort. If you have to suffer to keep your comfort, you might want to think about looking for a better job. But the one that's all buddy-buddy with the Presidente, or PAWN, I don't think he can enjoy the simple pleasures in life. If you can't enjoy all the diversity and variation and incredible things on this planet, do you think you're going to find it in a rock out in space? Maybe. You can hope and believe and wish all you want to, but if something don't quite feel right, there's a reason you feel that. You can hide and run and scream all down the hall all you want to, away from that feeling that don't feel quite right. But it don't make it go away. You have to have the strength to walk into your shadow and scrub it clean. That's where the cookies are at. That's where true appreciation lies. A lot of Christian folk, they can't do that. They want to hope and believe with all their might that holding Jesus' hand is going to fix the whole thing. But Jesus don't put your diaper on for you, baby. And for that matter, his name was never Jesus. Can you imagine being friends with somebody whom never tells you that you've been getting their name wrong the whole time? I knew a lady who loved the idea of holding Jesus' hand. All the while, she liked to hide the truth, just like this. What's going on with you? I'm fine. The one they call Jesus ain't gonna scrub your shadow clean. It's your job. And for that matter, did you know being able to apologize to people can give you a social edge? A lot of folks are too embarrassed by the things they done wrong to ever dare to apologize for the wrong they've done. One of them is this lady that likes to think she's holding Jesus' hand. But his name was never Jesus. You know what I would say? If a bunch of people were calling me Hamas instead of Thomas, and they're like, I'm holding Hamas's hand. Hamas is going to take care of all of this mess. Hamas is going to scrub my shadow clean. I would say, cuties, my name is Thomas. I don't know whose hand you were holding, but it wasn't mine. You knew you could believe in anything, right? So says the almighty potato sitting on my altar. It's a silly joke, but I make that joke for a good reason. Did you know how many people out there weaponize your imagination against you? I done lost count. And yeah, it's true. Having a little bit of money, it can keep a certain amount of comfort in your zone, absolutely. Especially if you need that money to be able to keep the other comforts you got. We like to call them creature comforts where I come from. You can run after critters and bark all day long, so long as when you get home and you go to your doghouse, you got a nice bed. But if you ain't got that nice bed, you don't feel like running and barking all day long. Is that cozy bed in your doghouse at the end of the day? Is that really what's worth it for you? Or do you know that you deserve more than that? Than to be just an animal running and howling at the whim of someone else, just so you can keep that cozy bed in your doghouse. Working at a job you don't like, just so that you can keep the comforts that you got, so that you can keep working at that job you don't like, so that you can keep the comforts you got, so that you can keep working at that job you don't like. It is what they call a trap. And you're the only one that can open your mind to better. And if you can't do that, can you blame anybody else for it? Can somebody blame you for just doing what you can do? I don't know. Can you?